guys, it's been a while, but I'm finally back on the YouTubes with an unboxing video for you. And this is actually a deck that I've had in my possession for a while now, but I just haven't had time to do the unboxing. This is the Dahle Tarot Universal, and it features the artwork of Salvador Dali. And my mother got it for me when she was at the New Britain Museum of American Art attending a Dali exhibit. So she didn't wrap, well, I mean, she put it in a bag and I took it out of the bag. So yeah, surprise reveal. Here's what the top looks like. And now cutting open plastic, and the box is amazing. It's big. It's very sturdy box, and there's no information on it, so that's a little bit interesting. And now we're just gonna shake that open, and book. Wow, this is a pretty, all right, this is a pretty hefty book. It's it is about 200 pages, and it's in multiple languages. So it starts off with, oh, excellent picture of Mr. Dali, and it is from, there's an introduction by Annette Koger from the German Playing Card Museum, which is interesting. So it looks like it talks about the making of the Dali Tarot, Salvador Dali's life, surrealism, the importance of the Dali Tarot, the structure, how to read the cards. Then it goes to through the major arcana, minor arcana, and the pictorial sources, and then a bibliography. And it looks like it, okay, so it does have 3 different languages, but it's like this column is English, German, French, and it looks like it maintains that same structure throughout the book. So first it'll put the material in English, then it'll put it in German, and then French. I'm assuming it's German, but I don't read German, so I could be wrong. But so okay, structure of the Dali Tarot. Like any other tarot deck, the Dali Tarot consists of 78 cards, 22 trump cards or major arcana, 56 minor, major aspects of life. The cards of the minor arcana are divided into 4 suits. Okay, yeah, so nothing earth-shattering there. There are some spreads. A basic 3-card current situation, past, future, and then a sort of compass spread there. Practical tips, and it gets into meanings. I want to read this significance of, okay, so the importance of the Dali Tarot. In a sense, we're all artists, masters of the art of life. Today, many people relate to the way of the artist or the way of the pilgrim. The concepts of art and pilgrimage now represent methods of designing your own life, discovering your destiny, and choosing, creating, and meeting personal challenges. Tarot and fairy tales, myths and dreams, what Erich Fromm called symbolic languages, are precious and oftentimes irreplaceable companions because they provide an effective and safe training ground for the exploration of utopias and alternative realities. One of the most beautiful results of this training is a growth of consciousness. You experience the conscious handling of the unconscious. Okay, definitely makes sense. Since his youth, Dali had been a great admirer of Sigmund Freud. July 1938, he finally visited him. Dali was 34 years old then, Freud was 82. Dali wrote in a letter to André Breton that meeting Freud had deeply impressed him, and that Freud had said, If you look at the paintings of the old masters, you're immediately inspired to look for the unconscious aspect. But if you look at a surrealist picture, you are immediately inspired to look for the conscious aspect. This bon mot of Freud shows us a meaningful way, effective still today. From the conscious to the unconscious, and back to a new and holistic consciousness, thus including conscious life and existence. The Tarot Universal Dali builds a bridge from the Renaissance to the masters of early modern art of the 20th century and into the 21st. In many ways, it is a focal point and one of the most beautiful expressions of diverse artistic efforts that are committed to overcoming boundaries, the borders between life and art, between spirit and handiwork, between possibility and reality. The tarot cards of Salvador Dali, with their pictorial enigmas and allusions, ultimately present a mirror. You are the magician, an original, unique, talented, and creative. All right. So, now we get into the cards, and there's one of the, okay, here we go. So, there is a cover card that says nothing. Well, it says it's a tarot deck. There are two of them. Oh, okay. The Tarot Universal Dali consists of 78 unique cards that artistic genius Salvador Dali created exclusively for this tarot set. Okay, so that's really interesting that he specifically did these for tarot. I did not know that. All right, so here's the Magician. We have Dali himself, High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, and I'm loving that he's got the glyphs down at the bottom. You can see there for the planets and zodiac signs that are associated with the different cards. So the Lovers, the Chariot, Justice, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune. The colors in this deck are really vibrant. Strength. So that's really cool. That's a little Asian food dog, as opposed to the more traditional lion. Hanged Man. Death. Excuse me. Temperance is really beautiful. The Devil. This is completely not what I would have expected for the Devil in this deck. This seems a little light to me and not as dark as I would expect. The Tower. The Star. The Moon, the Sun, Judgment, the World, and then at the end, the Fool. Okay, so there's Major Arcana. And now we move into the Suit of Wands. And here he started with the Queen, the King, Knight, Page. Okay, so this is interesting to me that the page is really tall and really big, but if you look at the figures in the other cards, the Knight, the Queen, or the Knight, King, and Queen, they don't take up as much space in the card as that page does. And I'm wondering if that's I'm wondering what that decision is about. Oh, okay, no, better. All right, so the Ace. All right, so it looks like the cards in the suits are not numbered. You have to just kind of count and sort that out. So the Three of Wands, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 8. What? No, 7, sorry. 8, 9, and the 10, carrying all the things. So now we get into Cups. Okay, not loving this Queen of Cups. She's a little creepy with her mustache and beard. Yeah. All right. The King of Cups, who definitely has that look as though he's been through the dark night of the soul. The Knight. Oh, I'm liking how there's that sort of face around him. You can see. All right. And then Page. Ace of Cups. 2 of Cups. 3. I like this a lot. It's a very beautiful interpretation of that. 4, 5, 6, creepy children. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we move into the swords. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. And again, we have the Page, who's much larger, takes up more space than the others. Ace of Swords, very off-centered, and I'm not, I don't know about that Ace. 2 of Swords, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm noticing a lot in the swords of these butterflies, sort of almost like not decoupaged, but you can see here's the butterfly at the bottom of his outfit there, and then here we've got this other butterfly in the card that's been in a couple of other of the swords. It's just I'll have to think about that. It's just something that I'm noticing on first impression. Where were we? Okay. So 8, 9 of Swords, and the 10. Now into the Pentacles, Queen of Coins, Devil, like the materialism, attaching himself to her. It's a little dark. King of Coins, the Knight, and Page. Now, Ace, the 2, 3, 4, 5, again with the butterflies, 6, 7. It's hard to see in this one, but there's a bat at the very top flying over all the fruit. And then I think this person is crying. I'm not entirely sure. And then the 8, 9, and 10. So one of the things that I'm noticing here is there's this contrast between the very detailed work in some of the people, very sort of classical Renaissance people, like here in the world is a good example. We've got the these 3 women, and there's a lot of detail in there, and then there's just this very broad, different approach to the rest of the card. The rest of it doesn't get that same level of attention. The Fool, same thing. You've got this very detailed classical painting of the figure, and then you've got this very rough abstract artwork next to him. So this is definitely a deck of juxtapositions and putting together something very detailed and complex next to something that's a lot more raw, simplistic, almost visceral, and that will definitely be interesting to work with. These cards are really big, like really big, like almost as big as my hand big. What other really big deck do I have on hand? Oh, so here's the Wild Unknown, which like Wild Unknown, Dahle. The Wild Unknown is thicker, but not, big. The stock is nice, but it's very coated, kind of slippery a little bit. These are going to take some getting used to, but yeah, I think this is going to be a really sort of challenging deck for me to read, because even though it is big, like I said, there's so much detail in some of these images that I think it's going to be difficult in some cases to really unpack all of what's in there, because they are so layered and so complex. But I like a challenge, and I like decks that force me to grow as a reader. So looking forward to working with this one. Thank you, Mr. Dali, for continuing to challenge people through your art.